afternoon, history lovers. Mark Malloy again with Emerging Revolutionary War, coming to you live right now from one of the locations, one of the redoubts of Fort Washington, which is on Manhattan Island. You might be able to hear it, but you can see right behind me is the George Washington Bridge, which spans the Hudson River, and it connects Manhattan to New Jersey on the other side. And actually, Dan, if you want to look over here, you can see in the distance the Hudson River in New Jersey on the other side. And yes, we are in Fort Washington was on the New York side. On the New Jersey side was Fort Lee. But these were two of the main forts defending the Hudson that Washington had. And the main Fort Washington is behind us, but as you can see, there's these rises in the terrain. There would have been a redoubt up here, and we actually had to hike back in the woods to find this location. The main Fort Washington, most of that has been destroyed. There are markers up at Bennett Park nearby that describe the location of where that was. But one of the neat things, like I said, many of the New York locations have been lost, but there are really neat little things you can find, like this marker here that was put up to mark the location of the American redoubt. Like I said, we're right underneath the George Washington Bridge. So how many people pass by this not even knowing the history that happened right here? But Washington holds a force here. Even after October, after the battles of Harlem Heights in September, after he leaves Manhattan Island and goes up to fight at White Plains, there's still a force of Americans they left here on Fort Washington. It's the one position they still held into November of 1776. By mid-November, the British are going to assault the American positions here. The British give the commander of Fort Washington, Colonel McGaw, they say, surrender the fort and your men, or we'll put you all to the sword. He replies that defending the most glorious cause, he says, I'm prepared to defend this position to the last extremity. And they do put up a fight, and there is fighting that takes place, especially as the British converge on this position. The Americans do end up surrendering it, and Washington is going to be on the New Jersey side. He actually was coming across here. He goes back over to the New Jersey side. He watches Fort Washington fall, and they lose their garrison of almost 3,000 men here. And Washington supposedly wept from the other side watching this position fall and him lose all of these men. Of course, historians have debated whether they should have left these troops over here. Washington, deferred to General Nathaniel Greene, who suggested defending this position. It turns out to be a big mistake, but Washington still holds General Greene in high esteem. And of course, Greene is going to then eventually become Washington's really second-hand man through the rest of the war. But this is a really neat site, part of New York City's history, part of the Revolutionary War history of the the New York campaign, and often forgotten, but a really neat site, and so something that you need to check out.